Okay. We chose a topic this week of a question, what can I do? And this question is in response to current world events, to political situation, to polycrises. And one of the phrases that we're kind of bouncing off of is shine a light in your corner. Shine a light in your corner. So what came up for me yesterday was, I'm still healing, exclamation point, exclamation point. Lots of exclamation points after that. So I want to talk about healing today. And these are some dictionary definitions. The process of making or becoming sound or healthy again. The process of correcting or putting something right in quotations, and the process of alleviating distress. So I live in the LA area, and we are still healing from the fires. The fires in January, which seemed like so long ago, and the world has moved on with the rapid fire, new events, new crises that have made the news, that have and need attention. And it's hard to take these all in and give them equal attention. So that popped up like, oh, give them equal attention. Now there's a view, like that's even possible, that we could give all of these things equal attention. We'll have to really attend to our own stream. And especially in crises, we take care of the emergencies and we have to stabilize before we act. And in the LA area, I would say we're now in a healing process. But in that healing process, we're also preparing for the next ones because we're right in the red fire zone. They're going to come. So part of healing is to decide where to put our energy, what needs more effort to continue to live its best life, and what's on decline that we can't really stave off. Where and what do we have control over, and where will it most likely produce beneficial results? So I come up with some healing categories, again, my own creation. You won't find these anywhere, and they're just for today. I'll even say that. So at times it's very healing to keep something going. I started a Tai Chi and reflective meditation group, a local group, in January, right before the fires, the weekend before the fires. And Kim Henderson has been training and assisting with me. Tracy Katz has been there every time, supporting. It's been a really lovely local event. It's in King Gillette Ranch, which is, it's a haven of local mountains, eucalyptus trees, wild parrots. We had weeds that smelled like pineapples this last Saturday. That's a first for me. It's former Chumash land, and it really feels like the spirit of their practices and their being, and the love that they had to preserve this natural land is present with us. So after we did the Tai Chi on Saturday and we sat for meditation, there were these huge wind gusts that came through the valley and just kind of, blew us around for a bit. And during the meditation, a few people spoke about how delightful it was to actually feel that wind and not feel the trauma of the fires arise. It surprised them. It wasn't even on their radar. And yet there were a few, and there was one woman who talked about it took her right back into the trauma of the fires. And she had to hold her seat to be able to sit through the winds. And those memories just washed through her while she meditated. Each person got a chance to say a bit about their experience on Saturday. And that sense of sitting in protected land, that's really still susceptible to fire and wind and danger. It left me with a different perspective. Not slightly different, but It feels like because it's a drop-in group, each person gets just a drop of reflective meditation. And I used to feel so responsible for making sure I gave the best drop, that they could know all the things this drop could do, all the possibilities of this drop, and how precious these Dharma drops were. But it reaffirmed a perspective for myself is that I know this for myself, and that's what I try to represent. And while the place and the land that we meditated in was fertile, the Dharma drops have to fall on each person's fertile soil, and that I have not that much control over that. Okay, new category. Healing needs a boost. So my husband's office is in Santa Monica, and he lost about a third of his patients with the fires, and we're having a real financial stretch with this. And we've been fortunate enough to have a cash practice and to have a clientele that can pay for acupuncture and also to offer sliding scale to people who aren't able to pay. But we had an opportunity or have an opportunity to join an insurance panel. And it takes a lot of steps to get on an insurance panel, and we don't really want to go there, but we're there. We have to do that. That's what's required at this time. So it was really a lot of effort over the weekend that we had to attend to that rather than go to protests. We had to actually make sure that we could get all of these things together so that hopefully he can be accepted into these panels and keep his business, which actually is his generosity that allows me to teach Dharma, because he makes the living for our family. Okay, another category. Healing by learning to live with it. Okay, so experiences like health crises, when you come out with a different body. I had a very stark experience of this when I had a blood transfusion after an ectopic pregnancy ruptured in 2018. I felt like I had a different body. It wasn't even mine anymore. New blood, new thoughts, new feelings. It wasn't exactly true, but that was my feeling of it. And I now have something similar after these episodes of vertigo. Like I have this new body. I don't know how to work with it. New conditions are popping up. I have to take different precautions. But it seems more healing effort is put into learning to adapt to the new changes, because I really can't take away the health situations that have happened. And you've heard other people talk about this too. So I'm not the only one in this call. My last category, healing by educating. So it's been really important, I think, for myself to educate myself around the climate crises, around the political crises, around the world, and take my practice really from just myself and my individuality into society and into larger groups, into smaller groups, into other people. And one of the areas I've studied was a book called Mindful Solidarity, which Mike Slott wrote. And he's part of the Secular Buddhist Network. What he does is he brings an intersection of Buddhism and Marxist philosophy. So it's very interesting to see how he tied these together and talked about their complements. So from that research, I found another person, Eric Bloch, and he was a Marxist, and he believed that a truly effective, human-centered Marxism needs two streams. This is like Marxist society philosophy. His cold stream needs scientific rigor, economics, and class structure to understand and change the world in material terms. But he also has this warm stream of hope, imagination, and ethics needed to inspire people to want to change, to want to have an improved and better society. So the reason I'm bringing him in is because I really like the word stream. Buddhism has a relationship to this word stream. And we talk about it in many ways. So where Eric Bloch has these two streams, we look at it in three different ways, or these are the three ways I've heard in Buddhism. One is to go against the stream, and this is a stream of greed, hatred, ignorance, delusion. We talked a little bit about that yesterday. But the other one, or the one following that, is to enter the stream. And when you enter a stream, you enter the stream of the Dharma. It becomes established in your life. It's something that you relate to and use. It's useful, and you become a stream enterer. And then in conditionality, we look at not only two streams, but many streams. Dominant streams, supporting streams, adjacent streams, unknown and unexpected streams. So that's a little bit of a light to shine. I hope you shined it on your corner, on your healing, on your dreams and your streams.